Hello, and welcome to another Bolt Action Deep Dive. While I haven't made any videos lately, I have been pretty active with Bolt Action, and I wanted to share some of that information and kind of talk to you about what's upcoming for this channel. To start with, I have updated the master unit list. You may have seen this floating around the internet occasionally, but it now does include Tough Gut and Case Blue. Additionally, I should be having a series of videos coming out pretty soon called the TPS Report, where I will be reviewing some 1,000 point theater lists. I also wanted to release a video called Bolt Action Math. If you're on TikTok, you know. And then a video or two about why your German armies suck. Not necessarily just a rant about how Germany isn't the greatest in bolt action, but how to improve it and get some of the better results. Without further ado, I want to dive into this spreadsheet. Just one aside, I am a data analyst at heart. I have a degree in editing and technical writing, and so spreadsheets are my friends and numbers are what I love. So here we have the first page of this master unit list, where I've outlined the different books, their authors, and what I'm using as the abbreviation, because, frankly, I don't want to say Imperial Japan or Armies of Imperial Japan every time. I want to just say AOJ. Of note, this top section of digital reference key are going to be books that I have either on Kindle or digital, so your page references may not exactly match mine. I'm currently working on updating that, but this bottom section with the physical book reference key should match exactly. The second tab is going to be for generic units usable by any nation, as outlined in the books. First, I have the unit, whether or not it's infantry, vehicle, or a special rule. The slot it takes in the reinforced platoon. Of note, watercraft isn't actually a slot, but it doesn't say what slot most of those take, and I wanted to further differentiate that. The book it's in this case, the boat Empire of Flames, Battle of France, and Mariana Plow. Page number can be found in those, and then whether or not it has the magic sentence for the GRPS or the book theaters only. Some notes about the information. And then for vehicles, I have the armor value. For infantry, I've got the points per model. Inexperienced 7, regular 10, veteran 13. Sometimes you might need to infer what veterancy it has or look it up in the actual book, which is a good point. At no point in this am I saying, use this instead of books. You should always buy the books, use those. Those are the official rules. What I want to be able to provide to the community that I've worked so hard to develop is this is where you can find the books, and more importantly, you can check to see if there's any erratas on it. Look, for native irregulars, it's got an errata in the selectors. And you don't have to go looking in multiple sources just to find out that information. New in this version is this minimum units tab. That'll be the number of models minimum in that entry. I don't have it for all of the earlier stuff, but I am working on it. All the newer stuff should have that. As always, the maximum number of models. So, is it a 20-man possible? Only 10, 12? Interesting, I saw a bunch of 9s in some of the recent stuff. And then the weapons loadouts or weapon options. Here, Belgium is a good example. How many SMGs the squad can take, bars, Fausts, Germany's going to have, of course, assault rifles in there, things like that. And then LMGs. Hey, what kind of regular squad can have 2 LMGs that's usable in the generic reinforced platoon? Believe it or not, there's only like 2 for Germany, which is kind of an interesting fact. Additionally, in this list, you'll come across some of the special rules, like here in Great Britain. I've delineated the armies of, like, Australia, Canada. Those are soon going to be in a tab of 4A and 4B as well. It'll just say C-tab 4B, C-tab 4A. Those don't exist yet, even though it is there. However, you can find some of the other things, like the guards units in Reinforced Platoon. This is where you go to find that. Tough Gut, page 119. In fact, I'm really shocked we don't see more guards platoons. That rule is pretty phenomenal. Moving on, China. I've got it subtyped out to Nationalist, Warlord, and Communist in a separate tab. That way you can easily check that. Anything else? Partisans. Let's go to that. Partisans do have an extra note of AK after it, which is right here, Armia Krajowa. And that would be, while they aren't specifically partisans for bolt action, a lot of the events that I've been going to lately do specifically allow the AK units to be used in partisan lists as well, but you'll also find those in Poland. It does have Slovakia. Romania, again, you're going to see reference tab 19A. I'm working on the 1944 Allied Romanian list. United States is going to have some of those other subtypes in their special rules and things like that. Oh, here's a good point. You'll see some orange in here. Orange means, I'm sorry, I just haven't had time to fill out the infantry information for that. This was in U.S. I think some of the BNC or British and Canadian selector or infantry, and then one other one. What's the other book that came out around that time? Maybe Soft Underbelly. But this is my own personal note. I need to get around to doing that. Some of the nations, or sometimes you'll come across a red entry. And that red entry, like this one for the sniper team in France, denotes a discrepancy, as I would call it. This one happens to be a point discrepancy. Sometimes there's equipment discrepancies or rule. I think there's a sniper team that doesn't even have the sniper rule. Things like that. For more information about that type of thing, go check out my video on bolt action discrepancies and Hey Warlord. There is a tab on special characters. If you ever wanted to look them all up or see what there is, maybe there's somebody that won the Audie Murphy Award in your platoon, like mine did when we deployed. You can, kind of look up what Audie Murphy does. Here we have the brand new major in Tough Gut, which counts as a major, but it's a vehicle, so he goes in the officer slot. Just like, is that really intended, or things like that. The new boat. Let's see if I can find the boat. That's got 5 hit points. I'm waiting for somebody to actually get back to me on that one. So this patrol boat actually has 1 NCO and 5 men. So does it have 6 hit points? Who knows? That's the type of stuff you'll see in red. All right, one of the tabs I'm working on more recently is the special rules section. If you ever wanted to learn what deep water is, there's quite a bit of deep water rules in bolt action, and I've never actually seen people use them, which is kind of a travesty. I think it'd be a fun way to make the game not stale. HMG podcast. Mud, winter. For the record, I love you guys. Also, fortifications. Did you know there's multiple different types of barbed wire? And each one appears in multiple books. Big one is going to be the minefield sections. I think there's 7. And they each have different effects, things like that. I did start a train tab. I haven't updated it with Case Blue. That one's low on my priority list, but again, I'm still working on that. All right, I hope you all enjoy this. Get some good use out of it. This is a heartfelt project for me, and so it's my way of giving back to the community. I would love to go to some more international events. I know some of this list has been used at like World Open War, Operation Snafu, other things. I encourage you all to use it. Download it, add a tab if you want to allow units, like maybe stuff from Ostfront. The captured vicars of the Germans have. It's not in any theater selector, nor can it be taken in the generic reinforced platoon. So rules is written, this unit can't even be taken. It's just a travesty that we have such a situation that occurs. All right, as always, have a wonderful day.